Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video in English. So I did my first video in English, then I made the other one in Swedish, but now I'm back to trying English again. And today we're gonna talk about some, well, interesting / weird things about Turkey, or how things work in Turkey. For me as a foreigner, it's like so weird, some of these stuff. So we're gonna talk about that a little, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would be so happy. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact, I mean, you all know that Turkey is like the country of fake. I mean, here you can buy anything fake, and especially bags, shoes and clothes. And if we look at Alanya, I mean, anywhere you turn you will find a shop that sell fake shoes or fake bags or anything fake. But did you know that it's actually illegal to sell fake stuff in Turkey? Because it is. I mean, when I first heard this, I'm thinking like, how it's possible that it's illegal, but everyone does it, and they have been doing it for years. So I'm thinking, I mean, the government obviously don't care, but they have these the companies, like the companies of the brands like Michael Kors and Gucci and all of those, they have people they send out to check the shops to see if they sell anything fake from their brand. Yeah, so let's say there's a guy from Michael Kors. He comes to Alanya and he starts checking the shops, and if he sees like, oh, they sell Gucci, I mean, he doesn't care. He's looking for Michael Kors. And if he find that they sell Michael Kors, I don't know the exact rules and how it works, so they are allowed to confiscate all the items with their brand, and they shut down the shop. And I didn't hear about that happening so many times. The reason I was thinking about it now was because it happened here in the city a few days ago. There was this, I don't know what they're called, but this person who was checking all the shops and see who were selling fake stuff. Yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting. I don't know how the laws look in all of the world, like, is it illegal everywhere? I guess it is. But I mean, I don't understand how they do it here in Turkey, how they get away with it. But yeah, just an interesting fact. Yeah, and the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that they don't use names so much here. I mean, they have a word for everything. In Sweden, for example, we always call by name. Always. It doesn't matter if it's family, friends, or if it's your boss or someone special. You always call them by name. I know in America they use a lot of last names like Mr. Anderson and stuff like that. But so here, they call each other for what they are. So your uncle, you call uncle, amca in Turkish. Your sister, you call abla. Your brother, you call abi. Best friend, you call kanka. And if you talk to your boss or something, you call them with their name and then you say abi. So then you say like, oh, Ramazan abi, can you help me with this? And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting also, because all the time on the street, if I see two girls playing. They're like, Abla, Abla, come here, come. And they don't use a name. But what's most interesting about this, I think, is the fact that if I call my uncle Amja, Amja means uncle, then the uncle would also call you Amja back. And that's also very interesting. For example, my fiance, he calls our son for Baba, father, because he's the father of our son. So I don't know, it's just weird how well, weird, I mean, it's interesting, it's different. Okay, so let's talk about the traffic situation. Do they have traffic rules in Turkey? The answer is no. No, that's not the answer. But really, I mean, do they follow the traffic rules? They don't. They barely follow the red light. I mean, when there's a red light and it's gonna turn green and it's about 5 seconds left, then you better start going. I mean, if you don't go, they're gonna start honking on you and screaming. Everyone is in a hurry. And I really don't know why, because it doesn't work like in other countries, like, oh, you start exactly 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock you have to be here. It's not really like that. I mean, they have a pretty laid back work situation. I mean, I'm not saying they don't work hard, because they do, like 12, 14 hours every day. But I mean, I'm thinking, why are they in such a rush all the time? And if you drive normally on the street and you see this guy on your right side that's gonna drive out in your lane, then you have to honk to show him, like, hey, I'm coming here, watch out, don't hit me. Yeah, that's how they do. They use the honk all the time. I mean, I don't know how the rules look here in Turkey, but in Sweden you're not allowed to use the honk unless it's a like emergency situation. But here you use it all the time just to say, I'm coming, hey, watch out. That's really funny, actually. And when we're talking about the whole traffic situation, let's talk about the scooters. I mean, everybody drives scooter here in Alanya, at least. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. The youngest person I've ever seen driving a scooter, he could not have been older than 7 years old. That's crazy, right? I mean, in the busy street in the middle of Alanya, I see this 7-year-old guy driving the scooter in the middle of the traffic. And I mean, and the traffic is crazy here, so I mean, it's like extra dangerous. Another time I saw a boy, his age must have been 8, 9, maximum 10 years old. He was also driving his scooter, and nobody use helmets either. I mean, the kids doesn't use helmets. But I saw this kid, like 9, 10 years old, driving without helmet and talking on the phone. Also in the busiest street in Alanya, in like the busiest time in the middle of the summer. I would never let my son drive until he's 15. I say that now, and then when he's 10, he's driving out here. No, I'm just kidding. If I drive in Alanya one day, I almost died 5, 6 times. I mean, for real, almost died. There's so much to say, but I'm just gonna stop. And the conclusion is, it's crazy. The traffic situation is crazy in Alanya. So the next thing I want to talk about is gold. Gold is a very important item in in Turkey, because every time there's someone's birthday, wedding, someone had a baby, I mean, any big event like that, it's celebrated with gold. I'm not talking for everyone when I talk about this stuff in this video. so you know. But the gold situation, all the time you give gold, gold, gold. I mean, that's good, I guess. That's like a good thing. I don't know where I was coming with this statement. It just doesn't feel like presents of other kind are as usual as giving gold. A lot of Turkish people, they have much gold home, like they save, like instead of saving money in the bank, they save gold home. So if something would happen in the future, they would sell the gold and use. That's probably not a weird thing, it's just interesting and different from where I'm from. But it's their culture and it's nothing bad, it's just an interesting fact. Yes, we are gonna talk about the cars, because I have been to a lot of countries, like over 25 countries, but I don't think I have ever seen a country with so many like nice cars. I mean, in Sweden, half of the country they have Volvo, which is a pretty like normal brand in Sweden. But here they have like these fancy, cool cars. So I'm thinking, considering if we look at how much they get paid every month from their job, I would say around $700. Around. It's different from year to year, and I don't know what the new number is for this year. How can like 90% have such a fancy car? I don't get it. And the cars in Turkey are expensive. I mean, if I compare with a car from Sweden, in Turkey you would pay more than double for that same car. Still, half of Turkey drive around these fancy cars. Am I jealous? Yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it, and if you do, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I would be really happy. I'll see you next time. Bye!